The future isn't something that sneaks up on you. It isn't an accident waiting to happen. The future is something you're creating right now, in this very moment, with the thoughts you choose to hold on to and the ones you let go of. Before there's action, there's vision. Before there's a result, there's an idea. And every day, with every thought you entertain, you're sketching the outline of the life you'll eventually live. Think about it. Every invention that's ever changed the world began in somebody's mind first. The light bulb, the airplane, the smartphone in your pocket. None of those things were pulled out of thin air. They started as a vision. Somebody dared to imagine them, and then they brought them into reality. That's not just history, that's a blueprint. The same rule applies to your own life. The way you think about your future is shaping the way it unfolds. Now, here's the thing most people miss. Your thoughts aren't just reactions to life, they're instructions for it. If you keep telling yourself the story that you're unlucky, unworthy, or stuck, you'll filter the world through that lens. You'll miss opportunities that were right in front of you. You'll avoid risks that could have changed everything, not because you weren't capable, but because your mind had already decided you weren't. On the other hand, when you carry a mindset that says, I'm adaptable, I'm resourceful, I can handle what comes my way, suddenly doors open, not because the world changed, but because you did. This isn't just philosophy, it's psychology. Your brain is wired to look for evidence of what it already believes. If you believe you're destined to fail, your mind will highlight every setback. If you believe you're capable of growth, your mind will spot every lesson in disguise. In other words, the future isn't waiting to be discovered. It's waiting to be directed, and that direction starts in your thoughts. But let's be clear, this isn't about wishful thinking, telling yourself I'll be rich. Without building the discipline, the skills, the resilience, that's not vision, that's fantasy. The power of your mind lies in its ability to frame reality, to prime your actions, to give meaning to what happens around you. When you choose thoughts that fuel courage instead of fear, gratitude instead of entitlement, possibility instead of limitation, you start to shape a future that reflects those choices. Here's where it gets deeper. The thoughts you repeat aren't just shaping your external future, they're shaping your internal one too. They're building your character. Every day, your self-talk is either reinforcing strength or feeding weakness. If your inner dialogue is filled with doubt and excuses, you'll live a future small enough to fit inside that box. But if your inner dialogue dares to dream, dares to believe, dares to expect more, you'll live a future wide enough to stretch you into your potential. The beautiful part is, you have a say in this. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can control the story you tell yourself about it. You can't stop challenges from coming, but you can choose whether you see them as walls or as doors. That choice is everything, because the way you see the world today determines the world you'll step into tomorrow. And maybe that's the real secret. Your future isn't something you wait for. It's something you practice. Every thought is a rehearsal for what's ahead. Every belief you hold is a seed you're planting in the soil of your future. The question is, what kind of seeds are you planting? So let me leave you with this. The world you live in tomorrow will be born out of the thoughts you choose today. Guard them, shape them, choose them wisely, because your mind is not just a mirror reflecting your life. It's the blueprint creating it. Belief is powerful, no doubt about it. It sets the stage, it paints the picture. But belief without action is like a car without fuel. It looks good sitting there, but it's not taking you anywhere. You can dream the dream, you can write down the vision, you can tell yourself all the right affirmations. But until you back those beliefs with consistent behavior, they remain just that, dreams. Your mind creates your future, yes, but only when your hands, your feet, your decisions play along. That's the bridge between imagination and reality, alignment. When what you think and what you do move in the same direction, that's when momentum takes over. That's when the impossible starts looking possible. Too often, we separate thought from action. We say we believe in discipline, but we hit snooze every morning. We say we believe in honesty, but we cut corners when no one's watching. We say we want success, but we avoid the grind it takes to get there. That's misalignment, and misalignment is costly, not because it makes you weak, but because it splits you in two. Your belief is headed one way, your behavior another, and when you're divided like that, your future can't fully form. Think about someone who wants to run a marathon. They believe they can do it. They visualize the finish line. They buy the shoes, maybe even the race entry. But if they don't train, if they don't put one foot in front of the other day after day, what happens? The race shows up, and they're not ready. Their belief was strong, but their behavior never backed it up. Belief without action breeds disappointment. Action without belief breeds burnout. But belief and action together, that's transformation. There's something magnetic that happens when you act in alignment with your beliefs. You start to trust yourself more. You start to feel a rhythm. You stop waiting for luck because you're too busy creating results. That trust compounds. Each action becomes evidence that your belief is real, and each belief fuels the next action. It's a feedback loop, and once you're in it, momentum carries you further than you thought you could go. Now, here's where it gets philosophical. Belief without action is safe. It lives in your head. It doesn't risk failure, but action. Action makes your belief vulnerable. Action tests it against reality, and that's exactly why it matters. Because without that test, you'll never know what you're truly capable of. You'll live in a future that could have been, instead of the one you built with your own two hands. The mind is the architect, but the body is the builder. One without the other leaves the house unfinished. If you believe in kindness, show it. If you believe in discipline, live it. If you believe in growth, prove it by stretching into discomfort. The gap between belief and behavior is where dreams either die or come alive. And let me tell you, action doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. You don't have to leap across canyons every day. Sometimes action is as small as keeping the promise you made to yourself this morning. Sometimes it's choosing patience in a heated moment. Sometimes it's shutting down the noise and working when no one else is looking. Those aren't just habits. They are proof that your belief has legs. So here's the reflection. Your future isn't created by what you hope for. It's created by what you're willing to do about it. Your beliefs are the compass, but your actions are the steps. The two together create the path. Let me leave you with this. Belief sets the vision, action builds the reality, but alignment between the two, that's where the future is forged. Don't just think it. Don't just dream it. Live it. Because your mind may create the blueprint, but your choices lay the bricks. And the future you're walking into will be built on what you choose to believe and what you choose to do today.